welcome back. So we left off, we had done 1 through 4, 5, and 7. We left the little bit of spice right here. So this is lesson 7.3, and this is part 2 of the video. If you haven't watched part 1, that's kind of essential. You got to go back and watch part 1. You got to watch them in order. I know they're a little bit long, but that doesn't mean you have to watch them all in the same moment, right? Watch part 1, go do something. Watch part 2, go do something. Or change the subject that you're studying, okay? Excuse me, got a little hiccup there. Woo, look at that number 6. Let's check it out. I have a 2 and an in to the 0 inside my parenthesis. I'm sharing a -1 with everybody. Well, that's interesting, I will say that. So here, we have a power to a power. What is -1 times 0? What's anything times 0? 0, right. So now we have a 2 to the -1, and 0 times anything is just 0. Cool. Okay, so let's talk about final answers. Our final answer, our simplified answer, must be only positive exponents. Let's see what we got here. That is not a positive exponent. That is not okay to have in our final answer. 0 is also not a positive exponent. 0 is neither positive nor negative. He's actually got neither sign. He's neutral. He's right in the middle, kind of like a ref at a game. He's not supposed to be on anyone's side. So 0 is neither negative nor positive. Now, if you went back up in the directions, it says, simplify your answers. Everything has to have a positive exponent. So shenanigans, we got some more stuff to do here. So I know we're going to have to go back to basically 7-1 and kind of decide how this sucker looks. Well, first of all, 2 to the -1, he's an unhappy camper. And the only thing that we can do with a negative exponent is move it. And when we move it, it becomes a positive. Now that little 1 there, that's up to you. That's a personal preference. The 1 is allowed to be invisible, a positive 1 that is. Now anything to the power of 0 is 1. So your answer is literally 1/2. Good job. Let's look at 8 real quick. Same thing. By the way, you could also pause this video, try 8 on your own, which is very similar to 6, and give it a go. You could. Okay, so here we go. We have a 3 and a V0 inside the parentheses. We are sharing an exponent or a power of -1. Very similar to number 6 here. So I have 3 to the -1, and I have a power to a power. The power to a power rule says, when you have a power raised to an additional power, you multiply. And 0 times anything is just 0. Okay, he's unhappy, he turns into a 1. 1/3. If you got 1/3, cool beans. Could you have a little beep right there on the 3? Yes. So, now we're getting into the nitty-gritty, the big stuff. So, let's put our thinking caps on and get ready to rumble. Here we go, kids. Nice. You're like, wow, these look extra spicy. Yeah, but it's everything you know. We're just putting the rules together, right? We got the power to a power rule. We got the negative rule. We got the 0 rule. So we got a lot of stuff going on. Okay, whoa, look at 9. We have 1, 2, 3 pieces sitting in here, and we're going to be sharing a 3 with all of them. All of them get a 3. It's like, let's say I brought cookies to class. I'm going to give everybody a cookie. I wouldn't just give like, oh, well, you 2 get a cookie and everyone else doesn't get a cookie. Think of this as an entire class of kids, and that's the cookie. We're going to distribute cookies to every stinking kid because that's what's fair, right? So I'm going to rewrite this so we can see it best. So we had a 3, an x to the 0, and a y to the 2. Those are the things that were originally inside. And then we grabbed this 3 and we shared it with all 3 pieces. You get it, and you get it. And remember, when we have a power raised to a power, we multiply. So this one's being multiplied, this one's being multiplied. So we have 3 cubed, x to the 0 times 3, power to a power, we multiply. Ooh, that's interesting. And then power to a power, we multiply. Cool. That can't be our final answer though, right? We're not allowed to have a 0 exponent in our final answer. So here we go. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 times 3. Not 9, 27. That turns into a 1. So it's really 27 times 1, which doesn't change anything. So I don't need the 1. I mean, if you want to write it there, we'll talk about it in just a minute. And y6 stays as well. Nothing went downstairs. Oh, that's great. And 27 times 1 is just 27. So that would be your final answer. 27y6. Miss Miller, you wouldn't leave the times 1 there? No, because that wouldn't be simplified. Because you could still do that additional step. Now 10 is an interesting question. Let's go back to our 0 rule. All of this is set to the power of 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. That's a great question. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Let's try 11 and 12. Those are interesting questions. 12 is definitely easier than 11. 11's like a hot mess. So let's look at 12 first, okay? Let's look at 12. So I have a 2. I have an x squared. And I have a y cubed. Those are all the internal pieces to that parenthesis. And I'm going to share a 2 with everybody. A power of 2 with everyone. And then I'm going to clean it up. I know my rule is a power to a power, I multiply. Power to a power, I multiply. So I have 2 squared, which is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. I have x to the power to a power, multiply. Power to a power, multiply. Final answer. Cool. That one. Woo! That one. Wow! Woo! Wow! Woo! That's a lot. So put your thinking cap on, because this one's a peach. A rotten peach sitting in the sun, but it's a peach nonetheless. So we're going to look. We have 2. We have a to the negative 1. We have b to the negative 1. Wow. Shenanigans. And now we're going to share a negative 3 with everybody. With you. With you. With you. Wow. Okay. All right. I shared a negative 3 with all. And it's not just a regular negative 3. It's a power of negative 3. So we're going to multiply. We're going to multiply. Because we have a power to a power there. I don't have a power to a power here. So let's clean this up a bit. We have 2 to the negative 3, which I can't touch yet. A negative times, ooh, that's interesting. What's a negative times a negative? Positive, right, good job. And 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, so we have a to the 3. Again, we have a negative times a negative is a positive, and 1 times 3 is 3. Perfect. Is that my final answer? Can I keep it? No. No, we can't. Why? Because you have to have only positive powers, positive exponents at the end. I got a negative guy sitting right there. So that's a big ol' no. So A3 stays, B3 stays. Mr. 2 to the negative 3 who looks unhappy and wants to move, he goes right downstairs. Now, I'm okay with that final answer. Your teacher next year or the year after that may want you to simplify this little beast. And that is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So we have A3, B3, all over 8. Final answer. I hope you got that. Okay. So, there are 4 questions left. I'm going to stop this video here. And this is going to be the end of part 2, 7-3. And then we'll have one last video just for the last 4 questions that are a little on the spicy side. But what you could do is try them on your own. And then when you open up video 3, see how you did. Okay? Good luck. Bye.